Well, we've got breaking news for you here on Cricbuzz Live. Unfortunately, the campaign for the Mumbai Indians has come to an end. They will not qualify this season, which means it's wide open for Kings 11 Punjab now to play out of their skins and jump over Rajasthan Royals in the net run rate. Otherwise, it looks like it's going to be KKR and RR who are going to be playing that second game, the eliminator, on Wednesday, and the first game, which is the qualifier on Tuesday, will happen between SRH and CSK. Got Joy and Zaheer still here with me. Strange to have Mumbai Indians not in the IPL, to get knocked out, Joy.
Yeah, just once in the last 8 years has it happened, 2016. They had the first two IPLs were bad for them, but after that they've been an amazingly consistent team. And the strange thing out here was that they actually had the situations. It was they were contrived to reach a stage where they could actually do it and then went away. It's not as if... So it ebbed and flowed. Delhi flowed a whole lot of chances, gave Mumbai the chance to come back. Mumbai came back and then somehow flubbed their lines. You know,
that's been the story of MI. I think the whole season. You know, they've been creating opportunities. It's just that they've not been able to win those kind of moments. Like today, it seemed like when they were chasing this kind of total, they didn't know when the power play finished.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, they kept going for it. You're right.
Ishan Kishan getting out right after power play. They had 55 or 57 runs, I think, scored in the power play. So that's something, you know, at that middle phase which we speak about from 7th to 13th, you know, usually it is called collecting phase. But the approach didn't seem like that. You know, it looked as if they were looking to finish this game in 18 overs rather than taking it to the 20th over.
Yeah, which is very strange because they obviously there was no incentive for them for net run rate, nothing. They just had to win, get the 2 points and qualify. And there was a time, like even when you saw, obviously the spinners were amazing today. Amit Mishra and Sandeep Lamichhane,
well done,
right? 6 wickets between them, just 50 runs given away in 8 overs. Just towards the end, you were like, just play him out, play Mishra out, right?
Correct.
And Hardik gave that, what was 2 balls left in his spell when Hardik got out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point. Similarly, Evan Lewis, the way he jumped out at that point in time, and the way they got out was not a team who had composure.
Yeah.
For some reason, you know, Mumbai's famed composure, the fact that they're khadus, they see matches through, this was not the Mumbai you're used to. They don't normally, when they get these opportunities, they are like normally what the Pakistan team used to call ghost mil gaya, they just grab you.
Yeah.
That's what they didn't do today.
Yeah, and it was strange because another reason is because the asking rate was never over 10. But they were batting like the asking rate for 10 overs left is like at 12, but it was always around 8.5, 9, so didn't really need that rush of blood.
They were wanting to be dominating through and through, and especially they wanted to dominate the leg spinners. You know, which was very evident because the way Surya Kumar Yadav started also, it was like, you know, they wanted to set the tone and put the pressure back on the leg spinners, but
and they never went to plan B. Plan B is if you lose wickets, you slow down, you collect, like you say, collect. They just never went to plan B.
And you just had 8 overs to play out. Exactly. I mean, the Hardik was a particularly heartbreaking decision because 2 more balls to go here.
Yeah.
See him out.
Yeah.
Why are you taking that chance?
Yeah, MI will definitely be quite distraught after this loss because they're out. MI fans will be very distraught. It's very strange to have playoffs with no Mumbai Indians. But let's talk about the Delhi Daredevils bowling for just a second. Some of the catches, I mean, some of the work in the field today. I mean, Delhi, if they're looking at for the next year, and which they will, these are some of the tapes they need to play and go, guys, what's going on?
Delhi had a mixed day out there on the field, I think, with catches being dropped and catches being taken, you know, so that's something which eventually balanced out. I think, you know, they did put up a good show on the field, especially Maxwell, you know, taking those superb catches on the line, and both the catches were Pollard and Rohit Sharma. And once again, you know, at that stage of the game, it was forced shots. You know, that at that stage of the game, you know, they could have been looking at, you know, those minimal risk shots and achieving the 7 or 8 runs in that phase of the
I have to say, we were talking about Amit Mishra and Zach called it absolutely right. I said, how will Amit Mishra do today? So Zach said, he looked and he said, Mishra ji ka pehle over mein pata lag jata hai what mood he's in for the day. Mishra ji ne pehli ball mein hi dikha diya. He said, I'm going to take a wicket on the first ball to show you what mood I'm in today. And he was in a lethal mood today. I mean, 4 overs bowled for just 19 runs. He's got over 2 overs of dot balls in there.
So whenever you look at this team, I think of it, Maxwell's fielded beautifully. The Maxi and Bolt show went beautifully. But I look at two players in terms of relatively how they, teams seem to rate them. Glenn Maxwell, millionaire kid, always bought for a lot of money in the auction. Amit Mishra, 140, 150 wickets, har saal wicket leta hai.
Yeah.
He and Piyush Chawla just keep taking wicket after wicket. Nobody really rates them. Somehow they say, acha le lo ise yaar team mein.
Yeah.
And yet you see the consistency of the player. He's absolutely amazing.
He's probably a man of the match today, I would say. He has to be a man of the match. 4 overs at 19 3 wickets.
3 wickets, yeah.
You got to be. Think they'll give it to Rishabh? Think they'll give it to Rishabh?
Yeah, it will be between Rishabh and...
Bowler ko do, Bowler ko hi hai.
Simon Dool, Zaheer Khan.
Look, I think both the leg spinners did the job for Delhi. You look at how the game also went till the last over, and if Ben Cutting had a little bit of help, and we did speak about the long tail of MI. After 8, that was always going to be troubles. So with that kind of scenario as well, Ben Cutting at one stage made it look like it was possible.
We have to say that there's a party going on next door. After all, what day is it today? I lose count in the IPL. It's Sunday today. There's a party happening next door, and obviously there are no MI fans over there.
Yeah, they're not,
because it's a really thumping
they're
party.
not particularly bothered.
I don't know if you can hear the bass on our mics. I can feel it in my couch. I can feel it in my sofa. The bass. Well, who wants to turn the volume up today is Kings 11 Punjab, because if they want to qualify, and they still have a chance, if they want to qualify, they got to really turn the volume up, and they got to turn it big time. They're batting in that match against CSK in Pune, and the only way they can jump up above the Rajasthan Royals, if MI had won, then KXIP was out, so they were probably waiting at 8 o'clock looking at the screen saying, "Main nahi aa raha batting karne. I want to see first whether this is worth playing for or not." Right?
They made them wait for the long time. This was like
a
one of the
match.
Longest IPL game I've
ever seen. It went over 4 hours. But Kings 11 now need to beat CSK by 53 plus runs. If they beat them by that margin, and that's a big margin to beat CSK in Pune.
Absolutely, unless the only way it can happen is if they put up a huge total. And no, after that things have what really needs to happen after that is that CSK try and go after that total and collapse.
Yeah, so there you go. See, this was when the weekend began. This was the best case scenario for KXP. It was a 4-point list. 3 have got ticked.
Yes.
3 have got ticked. Now they have to tick the 4th themselves. Jo apne haath mein hai, सवारी अपने सामान की खुद जिम्मेदार है. It's written in local trains.
There might be some unexpected result, I think, left in the tournament. Who knows?
Yeah, never know.
This is that kind of tournament, boss. Anything can happen.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. My only thing is that every time we look at this and then some idiot will tweet and say, this is a fixed match. I hope they realize to try and hit a 6 like that or to catch a ball in the boundary. If they rehearse that 100 times, they can't get it right. So please, get rid of this rubbish.
And do you want to discuss that crazy scenario? What is a fourth possible scenario in this?
Yes, there is another scenario after this.
There's another scenario. If Kings 11 beat CSK by a big enough margin, then CSK will come to 3, KKR will be 2.
And the producer in your ear is probably Bengali. He will tell you.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not said anything right now. I think he had a sort of nerdgasm at the thought of it.
Every intimate detail of this is known and etched in his head. That 73 runs was
etched in his head. He's tattooed it on his forearm.
So that's 73 runs.
73 runs. If that happens, then basically CSK go to 3rd place, play Rajasthan Royals, play Kings 11 because Kings 11 have won, and KKR play the Sunrisers.
So KKR still doesn't know whether they should book flight tickets or not.
Imagine if that happens.
Sorry?
Imagine if that happens. So
that could happen, but that's what I'm saying. KKR has obviously flown back to Calcutta after their match in Hyderabad, and they're going, one sec, do we need to take a bus down to Eden Gardens to play Wednesday, or do we need to take a flight to Bombay to play Tuesday?
Boss, I'm telling you, you'll do this show tonight after the game. Dhoni will finish his game, come back to the studio, come back to his room, watch this show and laugh at us. 73 runs.
What did you think? I was
73 runs.
Wait, that's not going to happen. But you know what? We like to present all the scenarios. After that, you choose. We just lay out the buffet. You choose what you're going to eat. All right. So let's see which team eats the other one. We're going to see you at the mid game of the two shows, which could be of the game, which could be in 90 minutes. It could be 140 minutes. If it goes like the first game, it could be in 20 minutes. Who knows anything now in the last league game? Game number 56 that is being played between Kings 11 Punjab and the Chennai Super Kings. A lot at stake for Kings 11 and some at stake for CSK as well. They have to make sure that they keep holding on to that second position and play the qualifier. All right, we're going to see you in a bit. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Zaheer. I think it is time for us to get some dinner.
Please.
Okay.